Attention models. So, what basically attention model is? Before like going into attention model, let's see till now what we have seen. Okay, like we have discussed about a kind of a dense layer network, and we also have like discussed about like convolutional layers, as well as we also discussed about RNNs, LSTMs, GRU, and so on, right? Like which are time dependent. So here it's just a kind of connection to each neuron to each other neuron, right? So if there are many neurons, like there will be connection with each to each other like this, right? So that's what like dense is doing. So what convolutional layers is doing is like it is able to process the spatial information within the data, in the sense like in case if you have an image, the pixels which are in neighborhood, right? So there is some relation between them, right? So such kind of relation is captured using convolution that will help to process images, or as well as some kind of patterns like within like neighborhood, it will be able to detect such things. And when it comes to RNN or LSTM, so these will remember a long, like in case of a dependency, which we'll be using in a later stage, right? Like let's see example of time series where you want to, let's say this is like this, and you want to predict the next part. You can do it like this because you are, it is remembering the pattern is this way, right? So it is able to remember that this is a pattern. So and you can predict that this should repeat again. Okay, so likewise RNN or LSTM, like it will store some data in memory, and it will like store some pattern, like how is the input information, and from that it will do a prediction of next. So if you see this, it we are moving towards like uh, towards the way to fill the gap between how humans actually see the data and do a prediction, and the same way, like we are trying to improve our models such that it will come close to human, right? So for seeing images and stuff, like convolution will do a great job in like processing the images and get the values, like almost like prediction performance similar to humans. And similarly LSTM will have a look at like time dependencies, or like previous input dependencies, such kind of things. Like it will means like for sequential models, you can see also we sequential data, it will be able to process. And this is all fine, right? Like this for any other data, like dense is anyway used. Okay, so these all looks fine. But are we in case if you send an image and like keep some convolutional layers and few more convolutional layers, and like we also use some dense layers, and then finally predict some output, right? So if in a kind of a basic network like this, so what we are doing is we are processing the entire image to, in case if it is a kind of an object detection where you are detecting cars, let us say. So we are processing our entire image here, right? So and let's say let's extend this to sequential data. So here let's say you want to know the target of your model is to observe how your car is moving, the path. And what you do, like video, you will look at a video is like sequence of images. So image one, image two, like that. Like what you try to do, like let's say you have detected a car here, and in the second image again you will again detect a car, and then like third image, so on. Like you can do a detection of car like this, and then observe how the car is moving. Okay, so in these cases, like what you do is you will see the entire input, right? You will process the entire input, like all the pixels like are given equal importance here, right? But in reality how human actually sees, so in case if we say that like where is the car, how is car moving, he will only look at this car, right? He will only like in the new image, like he won't process like back other background, like the trees on roadside, or something like that, the people walking side, right? So he will maybe if he is looking at a CC camera, like where he want to track the car movement, okay, like observe the car movement. So you'll be looking at the car mostly, focus on that, like rather than looking at entire image. But in our current model implementations, what we are doing is we are doing convolution for all, extracting features and looking at all places in case there is a car. Okay, and let us say you found out in image one there is a car, and when you send a kind of a video, then in the second as well they will be looking at all places and finding out where there is a car, and even third case, right? Because this is not how humans actually do the task. Okay, so what they do is they will focus more on where actually things are important. Okay, so not on all the cases, like only on the, like it will give more importance to the data which is more relevant to the objective, and with less importance to the data like which is not much important. Okay, so how can we actually do that in attention? So that is where actually attention models has come up. So these are proposed like around like 2015, it's initially. So but even now in our latest state of art models, we'll still use attention models. Like these are major drive factor for the rest other implementations ones, like convolution and LSTM, like these have achieved their best performance in their own area, and then attention model has driven deep learning to few more steps ahead. So let's talk about attention model now. So what this attention model will do is, so like as I have discussed earlier, like attention model give more importance to the significant input, and instead of important, let's say focus, because like two important inputs and less focus to uh, irrelevant or unimportant inputs. Okay, so this is a case like what will happen, but how actually it can be implemented. Like it's good to say, we are giving like more focus to important inputs, but in case if you see an image, like we need to know already that like what are the data, like which are the pixels which should be given more importance and which are the pixels which need not be given importance. Similarly, maybe take words. Okay, like you have a sentence, and in that sentence what words should be given more importance and what words need not be given importance. For us, like we have already our human brain is already trained to do that. Like we'll focus, maybe if you are looking for certain answer, you will look at some words like which are more relevant, right? So if such word is not there, like then you will skip that sentence. Then if such words are there, like you will do that way, right? So how actually such kind of thing can be done in a model? Because like for a model, like every input is same actually, like till now how we have seen. So how to give that is like that as well, like in our case, like how humans has learned it, like by practice. The similarly, even our attention model, like it should be learning by practice, in the sense like by training, right? So we train our model, and that model should automatically know like if we should give importance to this kind of inputs, or these kind of inputs are need not be given like more importance. Okay, so let's see like how it has been implemented. I'm okay. So how actually it has been implemented is like there are two ways initially. Like one method is proposed and there is a slight improvement to that, and the second one is proposed. We'll be discussing both. So but first initially let me discuss about the latest one, then I'll mention like what are the differences what it has from like previous one. Okay, so because like this is more important. So actually what will be done is, so let's say you have a kind of an encoder decoder mechanism here. So in case if it is a wording, like let's say there is some sentence like we have seen, right? uh, I am from India, born in, like something like this. Like you have a large sentence, and like usually if we can recall, we are giving each word one after the other, right? So this is a sequence data. Let's say you have written one wording and then you want to translate it to another language, and or maybe you want to find out from this, this is a sentence, from this you want to find out where actually you want to identify which is a like city like this person has born. Okay, something like this. So you want to identify such kind of things. Okay, that may be your use case. Okay, for any kind of setting, right? So you can be passing like one sentence, because let's say you have one sentence, right? This is a apple tree. Okay, okay, this tree is located far in the middle of garden, something like this. So any random words. So if you see, in case let's say if you have a model and you want to pass this, okay, so if you want to pass this entire sentence, 1 2 3 4 5, let's say you have 5 inputs, and you can pass like this. Okay, is a apple tree. So okay, finally, like you have designed it seeing the first sentence and you have got an output. But now actually 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so there are 9 words. So will you extend it like by adding 4 inputs, and then you extend this model and then do it, and maybe you will again encounter something like which has some 20 words. So then will you extend it again? So you can't do like that, right? So what can be done is, this is can be treated as a sequential data. So sequential data, right? So one word, first word, second word, third word, something like that. So it can be treated as a sequential data, and this data you can pass one at a time. Just like if we remember, like we have discussed during our during RNN and LSTM like video, during that we have discussed like how we can give it as a sequential data. So as a, in time step, let's call it a kind of a time step. So at time step T0, we'll pass this, and then we get some output. And then next time step, we'll pass at T0. Now at T1, for the same model, we'll pass T next word and next word, like at time 2. So for the same block, you will be passing the input one after the other. Okay. So let's try to elaborate it by keeping it like this. So this tree is located something like this. Okay. So generically, let's write x1, x2, x3, x4, so on. So this is a kind of a time step. So where it can be LSTM, RNN, or simply like anything. And this is a hidden state which will be passed to the next like time step, like while you are computing. Initially, let's say it is like 0, H1, H2, H3, H4. Okay, and you'll be getting output from here. So this expansion, if you want it much detail, like please refer RNN or LSTM video. You will get like very good idea. So okay, so this is the output from here. So which can be y1, y2, y3, y4. So this was our RNN block. So a kind of maybe some encoder or decoder mechanism can be used on top of it. Let's say this tree is located. Okay, this is apple tree. Let's say, and this you are passing, and you want to know maybe your output is like highlight what is a tree. Okay, so you can say just apple. Okay, so maybe you want to give more focus for these words rather than these words, right? So how that is known is, so these are taken as output. Let me draw it separately here, maybe somewhere down so that I can get more space. Okay, so this is like inputs at a different time step, or you can extend this to multiple inputs as well, need not be a single input, so it will come in like another dimension. So what you do is like maybe this is like forward, and we also have discussed a backward propagation, right, bidirectional uh, case as well. So let's take the whole case, like we are not looking at that part. So where it is h0, h1, h2, h3, h4. Okay, so from here you will get some output, right? So, and you want to know like which output should be focused more. So you get some output here, right? So in these outputs you need to have some kind of a mechanism which should select like where which output, like which input should be processed more. Okay, so this should be more, let us say, and this should be more, which is the second, maybe higher preference, second, third preference, fourth preference. So how we can give that is maybe keep weights to each of them. Okay, some weightage W1, W2, W3, W4. So this weightage here, and the vector can be, all these vectors can be summed, and this we can use it. Okay, so this what we can call it, like these weights are there, right? So usually it is represented by alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4. These will give you like what importance to be given to that particular input. Okay, it means like till now we did not do much, right? So what we have done is, this is a basic Karnan block, like it is, and out of all inputs we are taking, like giving importance to each. Okay, this is a kind of a parameter which will be learned during training. Okay, so if you are giving more weight to more, this alpha 3 is, let us say alpha 3 and alpha 3 is like 0.5, alpha 2 is like 0.01, alpha 1 is like 0.1, alpha 4 is like 0.4, let us say. Okay, 0.2, let us say 0.3, and this is again 0.2. So it means we are giving more out, like we are multiplying output from here, right? We are multiplying it with higher value with 0.5, and the rest we are reducing the focus. Okay, by multiplying it with lesser weight. So what it does is, like the output here will have more impact from alpha 3, right? So that is how actually we give like more importance to certain inputs, means like indirectly attention to certain inputs and less attention to like inputs which are not much relevant. So something like that like will be used here, and from that we'll be getting like more attention to some inputs and less attention to other inputs. Okay, and this one will be taken, look, this is not directly output, so this is some processed input. Okay, and with some importance, this will be used again a kind of a decoder. Okay, decoder network. So let me call it ST. So at time t, let us say at time t, so at the output you'll be getting as yt. Okay, so this is maybe at 4 here. So but initially at time step 1 again you get some output, right? And next time step again you will be getting some output like that. So this is at previous time step, output at previous time step. So this is the output at current time step. Okay, so what exactly operations are doing here is, like, let me write the formula, then I'll explain it back to you. But mostly if you are able to understand this part, then it is well and good, or else I am going to repeat it again now using the formulas. So this is called as CI. Let's call it as CI. So for input I, okay, so output I. So like how the formula is, Ci will be like sum of, because we are summing all these, right? So all these till how many are there? Let's say here there are like t time tx. Okay, means like x input like t here. So tx alpha ij h. So we are multiplying this alphas with these h. What h you get, right? So we are multiplying these alphas with these hidden states, and that hidden state values we are giving to this. So instead of this, if I give this connection this way, then it would be much better. So those outputs like hidden state values, we are multiplying with some weightage factor, and we are taking as a vector here. So this we call it as contest vector. So that's why we represented with Ci. Okay, so this and how actually alpha, like these values are calculated is, this is again a kind of a softmax on top of let me call it, like there are three equations I will explain. Like let me call error ij, so which is some function into siu minus hj. So it means these n states are there, right? So these are compared with our previous output here. Okay, previous output at decoder, and this are compared, and there is you can write your own function, some kind of a difference. Okay, like you can keep some kind of a difference as output and calculate some error. Okay, and these errors are used for finding out these alphas. How is it is, like you can apply a softmax on top of it, and you can get means like values for each alpha. It means like softmax, you know, like how it will be, like exponential of this term divided by sum of all exponentials of each errors. So k1 to tx, here it is k. Okay, so this is how we can actually get, like taking these formula, like let's calculate this first, then we'll be calculating this. From that you'll be calculating Ci, and from there you can calculate with some kind of a dense layer or maybe some kind of a decoder network, you can calculate the final output. Okay, now let's if it is not clear, let me explain it like in a flow now. So initially what we do is we will have like inputs in a flow. Okay, so it means like x1 x2 x3 x4 so on, like how many inputs are there. So those were there. Okay, and we will pass it to some sequential model. Like it means it can be like RNN or LSTM or GRU, like any of these blocks. And so, and every time you pass every input, your hidden state value will change, right? So our hidden state value initially, let's say it is h0, it has changed to h1, then passing next input it changed to h2, then h3, then h4. But you have, you know, like how these are like input of previous hidden state is again input to like next hidden, like while you are doing like next cell. Okay, so we know this, like if we can refer RNN for that, RNN video for that. So now what we do is taking these hidden state values, we compare it with like like output state here at ST1, like previous output state. Okay, so taking that, what we can know is like we can calculate some kind of a difference, maybe a weighted difference here. So and from that we can get an error value. Okay, so and these error values we use it to calculate these alphas. It means previous output, if it is doing very good, okay, so that hidden state value can be given more important, something like that. Okay, like means this hidden state value and ST has very less, I mean like very close. So like H3 and maybe ST are very close, and H2, those things are not close. Okay, so for those, like you'll be getting some values, and for this you'll be getting nearer to zero value. Okay, so if you it is nearer to zero value, you'll exponential of nearer to a zero value is like 1 divided by so many things. Okay, so maybe 1 divided by 10, so it will be like just 0.1. So maybe for some cases you'll be getting much bigger value. Okay, so that bigger value you can take exponential of maybe some 10 divided by sum of all other exponentials as well. So from that again you'll be getting some value. So basically what will happen is, so these alpha 1, alpha 2, so on, alpha n, like those all will be combined, like sum will be 1. Okay, so let's say 1 is 0.5, so alpha 2 maybe it will be like 0.3, so alpha 3 will be 0.2, alpha 4 will be 0.1, something like that. The sum will be 1. Okay, so out of which alpha 1 maybe is having a higher, is much maybe important for getting this output. So that will be, it means like the output 1 is actually more important. This is given more focus, and it is used for computation of like ci, like this alpha 1, alpha 2, so on, alpha 4. So from that again you calculate output by just like having some dense layers and so on, or maybe another RNN network. So that is how actually attention model works. So this is how actually it is done. So and finally, like this is being used as a kind of a block, right? So this entire thing, like it can be a kind of a block, and it we can train it, use it like within a larger network as well. Like if you see our current state of art models, like it will use like maybe some 20-30 of attention blocks, like one after the other, one after the other, like having some ReLU activation, activation, dense layers and between, and so on. Okay, so and it is proven to give very good performance. Like we'll discuss like more about that like during BERT embedding, like where we discuss about transformer models, like which are now state of art at the moment, like when we are recording this video. So basically, like earlier, before this, like I'll give you a quick overview, like how it has been proposed initially. So there are like few encoder networks. So I'm going to draw the same thing, like instead of drawing it like this. So let's say you this can be RNN as well. Okay, so these numbers can be different. Okay, let me just so let's say like initially this was proposed during a machine translation for machine translation purpose. So let's say you have given inputs in terms of like maybe English language, and you want to translate into maybe Spanish, German, Telugu, like Hindi, any other language. Okay, so for that, like what you will do is you will give the data. It is again a sequential data, so we'll be using RNN or LSTM or GRU blocks here, and from there, like we do some kind of a processing, and we'll do some encoding, right? So and you have some values here, and from that again like you decode it back to a different language. Okay, there will be interconnections if it is required. So maybe input in one language will be getting output in another language. Okay, so this is how like maybe your model can be trained, and to do the translation. And here as well, like you need more attention to some specific inputs rather than entire sentence, right? So some like some specific inputs you may require like some better attention. So for that purpose what you do is like you that is where actually attention concept has been introduced initially. And for that like they have started adding these attention blocks here. So this part is an encoder, this is let us say a decoder. Okay, so the it can be any use case, like one I just mentioned here is like input encoding, like input is like English, and this may be Spanish, let's say like this. So like we are having some inputs and it is be like coded to some kind of an features, and this is being like decoded again and converted back to like the desired output. Like here maybe a kind of a Spanish words here, or a French like Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, anything. Okay, so we can change it to other language. So in something like this attention model, what we have discussed here came at this level. Okay, so at this encoder level, and what we have done is like maybe from the context vector it has extracted it, this context vector is this. Okay, so and from here it has taken the help of this context vector, and finally again it decoded into like different language output. This is what is being proposed in this method. Okay, so in the same case in earlier, like other method which has been proposed is instead of taking like here what we have done, we have taken error from like state here, like previous state of this, right? So instead of that, like they have taken like one more proposal where they have taken output and compared with previous state. So instead of st1, so they have taken like yt minus 1 and with like hidden states, and from that they have calculated alpha. Rest is same. So from this they can calculate error, and this error is again used to calculate alpha, and this alpha can be used to calculate contest vector. Previously, like this is in 2015, this is in 2014, or maybe in both in same year. I'm not very sure about this years. So from here actually it came to this way. So previously it is like this, and then instead of having a decode like getting comparing it with decoder output, so they have taken the hidden state, like decoder states, previous states of decoder, and that has been used for calculating error, and this has been used to calculate alpha, this has been used to calculate contest vector.